Welcome back to Tag Team, the Pokemon Trading Card Games premier podcasting duo. My name is JW Kriewall, and I'm joined here by my good friend, Andrew Mahone. Andrew, how are you today?
I'm chilling, dude. Feeling great. How about yourself? Just got back from Vegas.
Uh-huh.
A couple hours of sleep, right?
If that.
Now, thankfully, what happened in Vegas is not going to stay in Vegas because you are about to have a tell-all about your regional experience.
Yes, I am. I don't know how much I'll remember, again, because I made the mistake of taking... It wasn't even a direct red-eye. It was like two separate, I had a layover for about a couple hours in Atlanta. So I went Vegas to Atlanta and then Atlanta to Newark. And just like looking back on it, I should have just paid the extra $50, taken a direct flight from Vegas to Newark like I did coming in. Because I regretted it today. I got off the plane, hustled home, went right to work, worked a full day, and now here I am recording. So I'm really punishing.
It was worth it, bro.
I'm punishing myself. I'm punishing my body right now. Yeah, and you ask yourself, was it worth it? I don't know. Maybe let's come back to that question in a couple years. Okay?
Sure. Yeah.
And with the benefit of hindsight, we can explore that a little bit. But yeah, really fun event. Las Vegas is not, it's not my vibe, to be completely honest. Like, it's just a consumerism pit.
Yeah,
black
bro,
hole.
it's like a gambling city that was popped up in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, of course. It's just like it's so flashy and everything's just so fake and overpriced
But isn't that like kind of fascinating?
It is fascinating, right? And so, is it a place that I would go to on my own accord? No. Is it a place that I would visit because there was an event or a concert or a sporting, a sport? Like, maybe, and in this case, it was nice to kind of observe from afar, right? It wasn't like I was going to Vegas to enjoy Vegas. I was going to Vegas to play in the tournament, and then I did get a chance to go out to eat, right, and enjoy some of the strip, but it wasn't like that was the sole purpose for me being there, and I think I'd probably like to keep it that way.
Yeah, for me, I've been to Vegas once, and I went because my buddy Brady was playing in a gaming tournament, and I just went to go hang out, keep him company. We went to a Raiders game. The Raiders were horrible, the Vikings were horrible, but like, the experience was fun. There's like good food, there's good shows, there's good entertainment there. It's like not that serious, it's not that deep. It's definitely like, I don't know. I'm not into like the glitzy vibe of Vegas. To me, it does feel kind of like a little greasy, a little gross. But I think to hold like a gaming competition or like a convention or something like that, it's literally a strip of hotels with like nonstop entertainment up and down the strip. Like, dude, yeah. Like, as far as like hosting a big convention somewhere, Vegas is a pretty dope place to do it. I wouldn't go as like maybe a destination, to like go experience something maybe meaningful. But as far as like a place with like a lot of hotels and like a lot of things to do, like, it's pretty decent at being that. So I think it's a cool place to host a Pokemon tournament, and I would like to see them continue doing it.
Yeah, I think so this is my first time being in Vegas and like staying. My wife and I flew into Vegas for our honeymoon, but that was just like the closest airport to go visit the surrounding national parks, which is what we did on our honeymoon. So I only spent like one night in Vegas with her, and we were kind of in and out. We did eat at a really nice Chinese restaurant. If you're ever in Vegas, I would recommend going to Ping Pang Pong Chinese restaurant. So I'll have to try to do that next year. But What was I going to say? Oh, I don't think that I knew the layout, and people that were in Vegas, maybe you did know all this. I like always want to stay as close to the convention center as possible, but that's not really that doable in Vegas. Like the convention center is kind of off of the strip, and the strip has most of the hotels. So we stayed at a Hampton Inn that was about a 15-minute walk away, which is, you know, it's fine. It just doesn't lend itself to like being able to go back and forth very quickly, like in between a round, for instance, or, you know, if you get done early or if they have a lunch break or something like that. So I think there was like, we could have stayed on the strip, and then maybe there's like transportation. I think there's some like underground car tunnel, and then there's a tram that goes all the way to the convention center, which I didn't know about when I originally booked the hotel. So that's my, you know, knowing, that's what I know for next year, is to get someplace a little more centralized, right?
Stay on the strip, bro.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But the problem is like the Ubers there are like $40 to go 10
Uber.
minutes.
Yeah.
No, I know. But I'm saying, like, as I was researching it, I'm like, wow, this is really expensive to try to Uber into the convention center. Like, I want to be able to walk to the convention center if at all possible. But because of the way Vegas is laid out, that's not really doable. But after I was in the city, I realized, okay, there may be some public transport options that I have. All that to say, fun tournament. I think we should get into it and kind of talk about
on Dango, huh?
I know. Yeah, I was between
Dango. You were trying to make it rain in Vegas. You were so on the Grimmy Grim.
I was for a while.
You got cold feet. And you know what? Looking down these results, I don't see a single Grim Snarl.
Yeah, well, who's the top Grim
anywhere
Snarl?
near the top?
Is it like Tim Danklin?
Richard
Is it Tim?
Cornwall.
Oh, Richard Cornwall. There you go. A 46th place.
Yeah.
So in the mix, but yeah.
Dude, I mean, like, but by and large, like, not your top tier play for the event. I mean, Goldengo literally was in top 8 and multiple in top 16.
Yeah. You're definitely having a tough time into the field as a whole, and I think like Jellyguardy is pretty difficult as well. That's like a tough matchup. So I was predicting a lot of Jellyguardy heading into this event. Like I talked to Jesse on the cast last week, and we both kind of said like, yeah, Jellyguardy is probably the quote unquote correct play for the tournament, right? It just has enough answers to everything, can slow the game down, can beat, you know, has a very decent win condition into Goldengo, which we both expected to be the most popular deck, while also not sacrificing into most other matchups. You're obviously going to have a tough time into things like Zoroark, things like Absol. Charizard can be difficult if they can get up fast, but by and large, you know, that tournament item lock works out really well for Dragapult, and Gardevoir has that option as well. So, you know, we both kind of thought that would be the correct play. Goldengo was the most played deck in both Phase 1 and Phase 2, and I think there's a lot of, you know, there was a lot of things to like about Goldengo. I felt like the matchup spread was there, and ultimately, you know, when it came down to it, I had 2 decks to choose from: Goldengo and like a standard quote unquote turbo Gardevoir list that I was playing, and I opted to go with Goldengo. I just felt a little bit more comfortable with that. So we'll talk about my tournament in a second, but did you watch any of the top 8 matches, Andrew? Because there was some heat.
I did. I was watching a little bit of the Tord. No, it was top 8, I think, where
Okay.
Tord got a double prize. Tor got a double prize penalty. No, his opponent got a double prize penalty.
Top 4, I think.
Was that top 4?
No.
Then yes. It was top 8.
It was against. You're talking about his game against
Guardy
Abon.
Jelly.
Yep.
Yes, against Abon. Yes, I was watching Tord versus Abon. I turned it on real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And after I got done watching the Ravens pitifully put away the Browns, that was nice. But yeah, I was turning that on, and honestly, I just have a hard time watching. I do, man. I have a hard time. Maybe I'm a fake Pokemon TCG fan. I have a hard time locking in and watching these these productions. And I know I put on tabletop productions, but like it doesn't even do it for me as like background noise. Like I just have a hard time with it. I would like almost rather have anything else on. I really prefer to like read about the results and like stuff like that. So as far as, which is not great for me because like you want to see the gameplay. But,
I mean, the games were pretty high quality. Unfortunately, yeah, that third
we had
game
a lot of really good players in top
it was
8.
crazy.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely stacked top 16 really. Yeah,
generational runs. I just have a hard time watching it. I don't know what it is.
Like is it? Are you saying you have a hard time watching like the just the tournament in general? Just it's like hard to like sit through for you, or is it just because of the commentary, or what aspect of it?
It's got to be a combination of factors. I don't know, because like the production's great.
Yeah.
The players are players I want to watch. I just never have been able to like sit down, lock in, and like watch an entire Pokemon tournament. Yeah. I've never been able to do that. Which is, I know, hilariously ironic and like very silly, but like, considering what I do every day, it's just, I don't know. I just can't sit there for like hours. It's like longer than a football game, bro. Like, there's so much, dude. Like, give me the one game I need to watch, and I'll go watch that. But like, good lord,
there were a lot.
Goes on and on.
There were a lot of great sets. So the issue that you saw in the top 8 match with Aban and Tord was a retroactive 2 prize penalty.
I know, which I thought was really fascinating.
It was weird. I don't know that I can't remember a situation like that. I'm sure there has been one. But the first game, Aban drew an additional card. I think he had a Pheasantipity in play, which is a dark type. He drew an additional card off of the Mysterious Garden Stadium. And then the game 2 was a donk from Tord. And then game 3, the judges stopped play when Aban was playing his supporter for turn.
Isn't
and then
they
crazy? Issued him a 2 prize penalty. So yeah, I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know that it's necessarily controversial, but it just kind of feels like, all right, nobody at the table caught it, so
like no judges caught it, nobody at the table caught it, right? And it's just like fair play, and that's unfortunate. That game is like really gone now, right?
Yeah, you can't win.
It's like, and then like they basically issued Aban a game loss. Over essentially, I mean, a double prize penalty is like, it's as close to a game loss as you can get,
especially in a matchup like that, right? Where you're dealing with weakness, being able to just one shot fairly easily everything on the opponent's side of the board. So pretty unfortunate there.
On the converse there, like Aban's having a generational run. These are like the very high stakes money matches, right? And like, don't make a gameplay error, right? Like, do you deserve to lose over a gameplay error like that? Like, maybe. I don't know. Like, when you are someone like Aban who's top 8 at 4 regionals in a row, it's like people are looking at you like you're the best that the game has to offer.
Yeah.
I mean, so you got to play flawlessly. I mean, that's basically what you ask, right?
Yeah.
That's basically the ask is like, no, don't be human. You need to play like a computer.
But it is. I mean, it is interesting. Like you're calling out these just consistent top result. I mean, this is a stacked top 16. And then Aban 4 top 8s in the last 4 majors that he's attended. I mean, this is one of the performances of all time, right? We're in the midst of it. And not to mention Henry's recent success. I guess you probably, look back over the last year for that and all the top 8s and top 4s that he's made. It's been pretty impressive. But yeah, you're right in the sense that, these are some of the best players in the world, but they do still have flaws, right? Like there's something even from, prior results where Aban maybe made minor misplays, and that's kind of interesting to me, right? It's like you're seeing these players that perform well consistently, and yet there's always room for improvement. So I think that that's important to call out.
For sure. So what did you watch top 8 then? What points? What? Give me the notes. What would you say were like the biggest kind of like, was there any upsets or was there anything that you felt like, didn't go the way you expected it to?
Well, the Ryuki Okada Tord Reklev match was fascinating. Because
obviously
I think
there's 2 great players playing a mirror match like that.
Yeah, you have 2 great players playing a mirror match and a grindy mirror match, right? It's not it's not a particularly straightforward mirror. There's a lot of considerations that you have. The biggest kind of back and forth that happens in that Absol Kangaskhan mirror is that you're trying to play around not giving your opponent damage so that they can't monkey dory and then knock out with Absol with the terminal period, right? But you can get around that. You have the mist energy, so you can you could give damage and then play around that if you have a mist energy on the active, and they're trying to knock out all the bench stuff with the boss. But if you get too far ahead, then you activate your opponent's counter catcher, and then maybe you're playing Penny to remove things that you don't want your opponent to knock out on your field, and you have the bravery charm that can there's just a lot of different factors that
and then
go
the
into
Absol factor of removing crap.
Yeah, right. And then you have to make you have to make correct choices with the Claw of Darkness. Absolutely. So there's a lot of different moving pieces, and I think that was probably it was the hardest watch. Right? Because it's no, that's not even saying that has nothing to do with the production at all. It was the hardest watch because it's just there's so many lines.
It's a combination of factors, bro.
Yeah, there were so many lines, right? It's you have to think about retreating and Pecharunt. Do you want to poison your Pokemon? Do you want to bring up the Yveltal and just pass a turn while you're getting energy attached? Do you want to turbo energize, and with what Pokemon do you want to turbo energize? Are you drawing with a Mega Kangaskhan? Do you want to leave that on the field? Do you want to penny that up at a later date? There's a lot of different things, and so it's really mind numbing to watch a mirror, and it's something that I'm going to have to go back and do some studying with if I want to, certainly if I want to play this Mega Absol deck, because there's just so much going on in any given turn. It's really quite interesting. So that was a pretty tough watch. And I'll have to go back and do my own study. But then the finals, I think, was the where things really shone. And
I saw the highlight, bro. Yeah. I saw Tord very slowly laying over every single card of his Pokegear, and the last one was the boss.
I know.
I saw Tord laying over every single card of his whatever it was, hand that he drew.
Yep.
Dude. Tord's a showman, bro. He's a showman. At this point,
it makes sense why they try to stream him as much as they do.
Well, and then he's playing into it too.
Yeah.
He's playing it up. He's making the and it's you got to give him credit for that, because the thing is Pokemon cards is a hard sport to watch. It's a hard game to watch. You compare it to the video game, which gets much higher viewership. The video game does, but lower tournament attendance. The Pokemon trading card game is extremely fun to play, harder to watch. I mean, you know what I mean? And trading card games in general are harder to watch, especially if you don't know exactly what's going on. Because in a video game, it's there's Pikachu, dude. He's attacking Squirtle. Man, I see that. I understand that. You don't have to know diddly squat in order to appreciate that. I barely know. I mean, as far as being someone who understands football, I understand football to a point, but there are depths of football that I definitely don't understand. Mm-hmm. You talk to a real football nerd, and you're dang, bro, there's a lot more going on. It's a very deep game, but you can still appreciate it on a very surface level.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not sure, what needs to happen to Pokemon cards to make it more viewer friendly.
Holograms.
Not even really
3D hologram models of the cards fighting each other.
Yeah, but I think that Tord is doing a good job all of this to say, Tord is doing a good job of like
promoting
living up his moment and promoting
Yeah.
the game as
Yeah.
like this larger than life tournament grinder, right? He's like embodying the moment.
Yeah.
I had this one-on-one with him as we were getting up to play each other on stage at NAIC. And I was like kind of dreading it because I was like, man, I don't want to play on stage, bro. Like, I'm sick of this crap. Like, I just want to like go hide in the corner and play my game, right? Like, that's what I want to do. And like, to me, that's more fun. And I was like, surely you probably feel that way too, Tord. And he looked at me and he was like, absolutely not, bro. Like, he loves it.
Like, I love
like
for
he
this.
genuinely loves it. And I was like, yeah, good for you, man. Like, because
Yeah.
it takes that kind of person in order to absorb that kind of place in the community. And like, for me, like, nah, man, it's not. I don't know that I could do it like Tord's doing it. I mean, Tord's living it up. I mean, the dramatic card reveal, bro, for the clip.
Yeah, it was exciting. So he
Yeah.
had a what was it? He had a draw 7, and he got into the Pokegear, and then he had a Pokegear to try to find boss, and then ended up finding boss to clinch the win. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about the finals just briefly. Tord played against Liam, who's also had, again, this was a stacked top 8. Liam's already had a regional win this year, playing the Enzorark deck, and there's one strategy into the Tord Absol box, and that is to power up your Blood Moon Ursaluna and then shut off its ability with Team Rocket's Watchtower and try to mow through the
that's beast. See,
mow
I
through
saw that on
the
Twitter.
the cornerstone.
I saw that on Twitter. See, so like I didn't even watch the finals, but I got the notes, bro. Like, yeah. You do the Watchtower and you put the energy on the Blood Moon, and that's how we do it. This is how you do the Mega Lopunny before the Mega Lopunny comes out.
Yeah, so pretty incredible stuff. I mean, really just to find the line and to grind it all the way to that point, right? You're attaching
But you got to put 5 energy on the
energy.
freaking Blood Moon.
I know. But you
So,
have
like,
ways to skirt that, right? You can ends PP up, and then, or sorry, you can Power Glass, right? And then you can go ahead and leave it active, right? So it can accelerate to itself. That's not what you necessarily want to be doing, because then you're exposing the Blood Moon to your opponent's attacks. But that is a way to kind of cheat around that, or you just.
So is that what Tord did in the finals? Then he just went double.
Yeah.
He just went double cornerstone.
Yeah. But that's kind of the board. That's the board state you're trying to set up.
What was the game? What was the game count? Was it 2-0?
No. You got to go watch it, bro. You got to go watch it, bro. It was 2-1.
I'm telling you, I saw the final play. I mean, it's already been spoiled. I get it. It's like the dramatic.
No, you got to watch game 2. Okay, so the discourse.
So then tell me how he won game 2. Tell me. See, I'm fascinated. Tell me.
I told you, bro. He attacked with the Ursaluna, and like
That's how he did it.
He took other prizes, because I think in game 2, Tord like had to play other things down. So he took other prizes. He got down to whatever it was, 2 prizes, and then he Blood Moon Ursaluna into the Ogerpon, did 240 damage. And then,
because it had a charm on it.
It had a charm on it, and then he used Enzarua to scratch it for knockout.
Yeah, I saw that highlight too, bro. See, yeah.
So you're locked
highlight
in.
on Twitter.
You're
bro.
locked in. But you
I
gotta
saw
watch
the
the
highlight
whole
on
thing.
Twitter.
That's like watching the
I
highlights.
saw
that's like
all
watching
that.
the highlights of the Ravens. You know, it's like it doesn't give you the full perspective.
But you know what? Sometimes I don't have all 3 hours to sit down and watch the whole Ravens game, so I'll take my highlights for sure. Also, sometimes I don't have whatever various TV freaking provider, streaming service. They want me on Peacock, Fubo, NFL Plus, bro. They shut down my illegal streaming.
They shut it down for you. Oh, I got a few other ones.
You got the one I was using last year, bro.
What? Stream East?
Stream East. Yeah.
I got a few. A few. Yeah, I know. Rip Stream East for sure. I got a couple others.
So I've been grinding the highlights lately, dude.
just for legal reasons, I don't use these illegal.
I definitely don't use them.
Yeah, I don't use them. I know of them though, right? Because I want to know what to stay away from.
Okay, and I would never use them unless I was like just
So-
on Minecraft or doing something fictional.
So, yeah, really fascinating stuff. Congratulations to Tord. I mean, winning the biggest regional, like, it just, has won every IC, has won, the biggest regional, has won, the most regionals. Like, there's just really no accolade outside of world champion that he has accomplished. I'm starting to
kind of feel like Tord's the GOAT, dude.
I was having that thought too.
I think maybe maybe it's moving that way. Yeah, for me.
I'm kind of thinking that way too. Yeah, I've been a pretty staunch defender of Jason, but
me too for a while. But I think for me,
it's hard.
The needle is moving.
It's hard. I mean, to even have, a single result in the modern era, the last 3 years, the recent modern era, with these tournaments being well over 2,000 players, like to even have a single finish.
Size doesn't matter. Okay.
Yeah.
Matter. No.
I mean,
doesn't.
No, it does.
It's quality
I think when you're comparing
quality of players in attendance. It is.
But you have to make it through more rounds, so there's more opportunity for you to.
They've never really, like, at a certain point, regionals were, the amount of rounds that they were once they introduced the day 2 thing. Mm-hmm. Maybe they added 1 round along that, and then they cut a round, and then they added it back in via ASIM. Like, size. To me, it's always people like, 5,000 player tournament. All right, then why? Then the Japanese players are all better than us because they win 5,000 player tournaments. All of them.
No, but it's the consistency. Right? It's the consistency. Anyway,
they're all better than us. All of them.
My big takeaway, size aside, my big takeaway from this tournament is that it's the days of like putting together a deck list the night before should be over. Done. Should be over, right? Do not. Yeah. Like, and we've kind of harped on this for a while on the cast, but again, that's my big takeaway from this event specifically. You look at the player, like Tord has been playing this Absol deck since he came up with the idea. Liam's been on Zoroark for a while. Henry, obviously. Abana, obviously, with Gardevoir.
They're not considering what deck to play. They're considering how to play their deck. That's it.
Precisely. So they
locked in.
The idea of coming to a tournament not knowing what to play, like that. If you want to level up, like that should be just like you have to eliminate that right now. You have to eliminate that right now. You can't be, deciding, like maybe it's deciding between a couple of cards, but you've already locked in your deck choice a couple weeks before the event and you're just grinding the heck out of that. And maybe you're making a few card choices, but you're not really switching up the list.
So you're telling me
the week of or the night
of. You're telling me what I'm hearing is that you're telling me what I need to play for Toronto. And I'm hearing the call loud and clear. JW.
Baxcalibur.
It's Raging Bolt.
Oh, you were going to say Raging Bolt. Oh my gosh. It was so funny because during the tournament, I was hearing like, oh, there's so much Raging Bolt at the top. There's so much Raging Bolt at the top. But outside of like maybe beating the Absol deck, I guess Zoroark is probably pretty favorable for you too. I'm not sure what your matchups are.
So Raging Bolt didn't deliver. I heard Raging Bolt got a result somewhere recently, didn't it?
Yeah, it was in Super Muncher Domino's Pizza Invitational number 5.
Pizza Party Invitation. No. No, bro. Yeah, Raging Bolt. Yeah.
Let's take a look. Take a look.
Top 32. There's a top 32 at Gdansk. There you go.
Yeah, I mean the flops of the tournament, I wouldn't have really considered Raging Bolt a threat. But
Sarah Ledge is not real.
Sarah Ledge is confirmed not real.
I've been saying this since Milwaukee that Sarah Ledge is like the worst deck that I've ever seen people play. We will look back on people playing Sarah Ledge and we will look at it like people who were playing that absolutely horrific Kyurem VMAX deck for like that period of time a couple of years ago, which like it was a little flash in the pan. It was hot for like one tournament and then disappeared, right? Because it was absolutely never going to top 8 a regional, right?
Well, you're pretty much riding on the back of the strength of Goldango, and even with Goldango being the most popular deck in the tournament, that's just not enough of a meta percentage to carry Sarah-Ledge. Because I said this to my Sarah-Ledge opponent during the tournament, because it's a pretty unwinnable matchup for Goldango.
You got farmed, bro.
Yeah, I got farmed. It wasn't even a matchup, right? It wasn't even a matchup.
Yeah, you got farmed, bro.
And I was just talking to him later. I'm like, what's your what are your favorable matchups? Like, I feel like Goldango, just from my perspective, Goldango is like the matchup. There's really not a lot else. And he's like, yeah, Goldango, I feel okay into Gardevoir.
Listen, bro, Lugia players just need something else to play. All those Lugia players, okay? They never found a home, and Sarah-Ledge was calling.
I know. Yeah, must have been.
But Sarah-Ledge is not Lugia.
So, yeah, Sarah-Ledge kind of fraudulent. The fall-off of Grimmsnarl has to be studied. Charizard didn't perform particularly well. We did have Grant kind of in the mix there on a winning in, but that was a pretty funny stream match to watch. You can go back and check that one out. So, yeah, I mean...
Let me guess. I didn't even... Grant got unlucky.
Oh, yeah. Always.
Unluckiest player alive. Of course, self-professed unluckiest player alive.
Always. He would have won the tournament if he didn't get unlucky.
Isn't that crazy? Like, because he lost a winning into like top 8, right? And ended up like...
I think I can't remember the exact situation.
That's so crazy.
Well, no, him and Caleb played, but I think it might have been the penultimate round. So it was like win and then ID or something, into top 8 or whatever it was. I can't remember the exact specifics, but it was a late round
53rd
matchup.
Yeah.
So I assume that he lost to Caleb and then lost again or tied, to give that placement, but I don't. Well, I guess we could check. Hold on. What if we just clicked on the name?
Yeah, what if...
Oh, it was the last round. Okay, yeah. Wow, that's crazy.
I told you, bro.
That's so crazy.
I knew more than you did. Unlucky.
Oh my gosh.
Let's talk about the real takeaway from the tournament.
Uh-huh.
Is number 8. Hawkenberg, bro.
Hawkenberg.
We got a freaking Joltik box.
I know. That's pretty cool.
Way up here batting out of its league.
Yeah.
All right. How did he get there?
I don't know. Tough sell. Well, I think there is something to be said for having Pikachu in your deck and being able to attack with it, right? Like Terra Box and Joltik Box are the 2 decks that can effectively utilize Pikachu turn after turn. And so, that's already kind of, you're thinking about just the Goldango matchup, right? Being pretty good with the Pikachu. And then you have the Iron Hand, so you could potentially mow down your Gardevoir opponents. The problem...
I wish my Limitless page looked like Hawkenberg's, bro. It's one result, and it's $3,000.
That's awesome, dude.
So sick, bro. That's so hype, dude. Congratulations to Hawken. That's a huge finish. Your first post on Limitless is a top 8. You're a freaking beast.
Yeah. And probably had the best name of all of top 8. Hawkenberg. That's like
absolutely beast mode.
Yeah, that's crazy.
God, epic. It's epic, dude.
Yeah. Yep. So good for you, Hawken. Congratulations. That's pretty cool. So, yeah, Pikachu gonna handle your Goldango. You got the Iron Hands. Try to handle Dragapult and Gardevoir. What else? What else are you gonna say? That's pretty much.
Jesse was like obsessed with. Jesse was obsessed with his Miraidon deck leading up to Vegas, and you were able to somehow.
I was.
Do your mind control magic to get him to not play it.
Well, you
got him to play Goldango, and he didn't do well. All right.
No.
What happened?
No. Yeah. Well, we opted to run the Christian Fontenot list from Gdansk. He got top 4 with the Prime Catcher build of Goldango.
Yes.
And I mean, I
So you just
really
ran card for card?
yeah, we just ran a card for card. So I really felt like that was the play for the tournament. I felt like that was a just really strong, consistent choice for the event. I felt pretty good into Gardevoir. I felt pretty good into Dragapult. I felt pretty good into anything that didn't run Cornerstone, right? Or some other hard counter, Crustle, right? Or anything fire.
Dang, dude.
Right?
So you were just saying I'm getting farmed by Cornerstone. You just didn't care.
I didn't care. And it, again, in hindsight, if you look at the top, I absolutely should have played them all.
Respect that stupid card.
But I only played one Cornerstone player, and that was in the first round of phase 2. So I can walk through kind of some of these matchups here.
Sure.
I had a pretty fun experience overall. 842 is not the record that I want by any means, but it was good enough for a top 256. This was my Sarah Ledge opponent, round 2. Just really just tough. Tough experience.
Couple of fire decks there in your top in your first 4 rounds.
Yeah, I was like, okay, if I can get through the detritus, then I'll be okay. But it was a rough, like the first 4 rounds were probably some of the hardest first 4 rounds that I've played, right? So obviously you have your fire decks at 2 and 4. Round 1, I played Vance Kelly. So right off the gate, I just and it came down. We were gonna tie. I was like speeding.
Who's boss?
I was speeding really fast. This was actually a really funny game. I made a slight misplay. He took a knockout, and then on my turn, I was just trying to draw in a lot of cards. I should have gotten out. He took a knockout on a Soul Rock, or a Lunatone, whatever, one of the rocks, and I should have gotten out that rock to have better onboard draw, but I instead go for the Pheasantipity. And then he Ionos me, and then I don't have both rocks, so I only have my Goldengos. And I do get to draw, I have 3 Goldengos out. Coin bonus with the active, okay, nothing. I need to draw boss for game, coin bonus with the bench, nothing. And then my last coin bonus was my boss for game, and was able to squeak that one out. And then my round 3 opponent was quite good, just a really skilled player, Christian Tan. I do want to call him out because he was playing the Dragapult deck, and from my perspective, played it flawlessly. Really just tight play, knew exactly what he wanted to do. And this was his first regional, bro. And I was blown away by the quality of play from him. I think it's a bit of a favored matchup into Goldango, and I was able to just barely squeak out a win there in that round, but just want to highlight that as just one of the more enjoyable opponents that I played, just with their level of skill. Flareon had a couple of I would say rounds 5 through 7 were some of my easier rounds, due to a combination of bad draws and some I would consider some sub optimizations in their play, but overall really great opponents. But 5 through 7 got on a win streak, and then I was heading into the last round of phase 1 and ended up tying a Jelly Guardy. We were going into game 3, and it was just I don't think we're gonna have time to finish this, so we'll tie it up. And then round 9 played against a Kangaskhan Bouffalant double Cornerstone deck. I was thought for sure I was going to lose this. Game 1, he goes Precious Trolley for 2 Cornerstone. And I'm like, oh my gosh, is this really how it's going to end? And I win the second game. I don't really know how. I think he wasn't really playing around some of the outs that I had in my deck. But anyway, brought that to a tie, which I was disappointed with. Obviously, a tie takes me out of top 8 contention, but it leaves me in a position to potentially cash. So rounds 10 through 12, starting out phase 2, 3-0, and I'm okay, I'm feeling really, really strong about my play, and now kind of these last 8 rounds, I didn't lose. I'm feeling I'm on a roll here, right? So I'm just hoping to keep it up. And then my round 13 opponent. This was this was so. I haven't been sacked like this in quite a while. There was nothing I could do. Like it was just really funny. It was depressing, but it was really funny. And my opponent was great. My opponent was Kosei Saito. Never played this player, but was I don't know. He won the Champions League in 2020.
Heck yeah, dude.
And was a Heavenly King, I think, at some point. So just a really quality opponent. It was a lot of fun to play him. And he had some pretty middling starts, but he made up for it in the late game, as Charizard often does. In the first game, he has all 5 of his fire energy in the discard pile, and he played a Super Rod already. So he needs to have Super Rod into Rare Candy Charizard to
easy
to win the game. And so, and he doesn't have a Pidgeot in
Lily's
play.
determination into it.
Yeah, so he Lily's for 6, and then he drew 3 off the Fez.
Oh yeah, baby, it's done.
And then he rare candied Pidgeot. He got the Super Rod. He Super Rodded, and then rare candied Charizard. I'm like, okay, that's not the word. Like that, I think the odds are in my favor to win that, but that's just a play that Charizard can make. And it's like, okay, we go next, and we should have time to finish the set. But game 2, this is where I get really, I get sacked. We bring it down to the end of the game. I have 1 prize remaining. He has Charmanders and Pidgeys on board, but he has no Charmeleon, no Pidgeot, and he has 2 prizes remaining. So I have a 1 prizer active. I have my Soul Rock active. I had just taken a knockout. He has a board of all 1 prizers, and he draws for turn. He has a 4-card hand, and so he basically, he needs Rare Candy, Charizard, Gust. And he goes, Rare Candy Charizard. I'm like, okay, that's fine. And then he plays Iono. And I'm like, oh, great. Like, I just win this because I have, like, all my boss outs left in my deck, and I have plenty of onboard draw. He Ionos himself to 2 and hits the counter catcher. I'm like, okay, it just wasn't my round. And I take that loss in round 13, and then round 14 lose to an unfavorable matchup in Terror Box. So all in all, like, really, really fun tournament. I have these 2 losses towards the end of day 2, which I felt like there wasn't a lot I could do. And then similarly, rounds 2 and 4, just playing against pretty hard counters to Goldango, which, just that was kind of the summary of the rounds there. Not my best performance, but that's like another day 2 finish for me. So that's
points on the board, right? If you're going
points on the board,
that's points on the board, dude.
Yeah, it's 8 out of 9 day 2s in the last 9 tournaments, 8 day 2s.
Yeah, dude.
So, like, the consistency is there. It's obviously just getting those big spikes, which I felt like I was in really great position there in round 13, and it kind of, the wheels kind of fell off. So, in any case,
do sometimes, which is what makes it so fascinating to see players, top 8 again and again. Because, like, anybody who's played in a Pokemon tournament, like, sometimes your deck don't work. Sometimes you just really get farmed. Like, you just get farmed, right? Like, sometimes you just get farmed. Like, I don't know how to explain it.
You gotta be lucky, right? You gotta be lucky to win or to do well at any major, right? Like, you gotta just, over the course of the tournament, you gotta draw well. You have to start the right Pokemon. Like, you just have to get lucky. There's a lot of that involved. That's not to diminish any skill that you need, because I think this is one of the most skill intensive.
Like,
it's one of the most skill intensive formats in a while.
Yeah, you definitely you have to be playing at the top of your game, but then also, like, things have to go correctly. I do think that there's definitely, like, a pretty big skill gap, I'd say, with these players that have been playing these decks now for like a year, and have been putting in, like, exorbitant amount of time. And this is something that I think the way that the game has evolved in the last couple of years for me, like since 2020, since 2022, is it post-pandemic? The way that the game has evolved, like, post-pandemic, is kind of what's making me start to favor like Tord as the greatest player of all time now, is because like the amount of players that you have grinding like unfathomable amounts of Pokemon to compete in these tournaments is unlike anything the game has ever seen before.
That's true.
It's you have more players putting in more games than ever and playing closer to perfection than the game has ever seen. And that creates a wider gap between those top level players and the players who aren't putting in that time. It does, for sure. And when you have like a 3,000 player region, that's why I said size doesn't matter. Because when you have a 3,000 player tournament, dude, like all that matters is how many players are putting in those hours, and have the experience.
But then you're also saying that more players are putting in more hours than ever before.
Yes. So like, but to just say that the number 3,000 matters doesn't. Really matter.
Well,
because to me, you could have, what? Magic World Championships are 32 players. Are those less elite than Pokemon World Championships? No. To me, like, you can have an incredibly elite and meaningful and difficult small tournament. Like, so the size number, it's like when people used to compare megapixels on cameras. Like, megapixels doesn't mean that the camera, just a higher megapixel doesn't just mean that you have a nicer camera. That's just not what it means. But everybody was like, oh, bigger megapixel, that's more camera, it's a better camera. Like, that's not really the case. There's a lot of factors that go into having a nice camera, actually. There's a point where you have too many megapixels, like, actually doesn't really help. So anyways, that's like kind of my pet peeve with the tournament size argument. But yes, I think you have more elite players putting in more time. It's like Pokemon. One of the things that I really loved about getting into Pokemon is it reminded me of the Division III sports that I played in college, where it was like you weren't really going to make a career out of it. It was like everybody who played Pokemon competitively had a real job, had a real life going on, had other things going on, because Pokemon was always just a hobby. But it's like getting to that point where it's like, the payoff isn't there. Even someone like Tord is only making, not like a livable wage off of tournament winnings per year with how much money he has to spend like traveling to tournaments and stuff and like staying at hotels. Like probably,
I actually think I'm going to push back. Yeah, I'm going to push back on that because I think the classes.
You think he's making like
and stuff are...
60? No. I've said off tournament winnings. Bro.
I know off tournament
just
winnings,
off tournament.
But
that's all I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yes, he is different. He's of course making a living off Pokemon. I'm making a living off Pokemon, but like I'm not living off tournament winnings, bro. Like Tord's making a living off Pokemon, but he's not making a winning. He's not making a living just purely off tournament winnings, and I don't think that that's like a healthy or smart thing to do. Is to try and make a living just purely off tournament winnings. But there are ways within the Pokemon community that you can like expand and make a living off the game if you are able to like ascend to a point within the game and the community. Tord has done that, obviously, which is how he makes a living because of like his classes and stuff like that. Azul is streaming. Nonstop. Zul is live all the time now, and is kind of like inhabiting that place in the community where he's just live and creating content nonstop. And my partnership with Full Grip Games has been very, very good over the years, and that's how I make a living. So it's so part of me is like you have these like kind of it's. You have this like amount of effort being put into the game that we've never seen before. And it's like, as people with like jobs and like livelihoods to sustain, it's like, sometimes it's dizzying. You're like, oh my God,
it's like,
dude, like,
it's like yes and no. It's yes and no. Cause I hear what you're saying. And I'm just going to play devil's advocate because I think, you bring up some good points. It's like, how does someone like you or like me, or like the, even like the above average player, right? Because we're kind of talking like what separates the above average player from the elite player. And you're making.
I mean, dude, we're elite players, bro. You're a three-time regional champion. I top 32 worlds in 2023. I top 8 at a regional, like
yeah. Well, I mean, I would put us in like there's an S tier player, right, that we're discussing here, and that would be
for sure
much of
definitely
the top 16.
Like, don't sell yourself short, bro. We're
I'm not.
We're top players, bro.
I'm saying, I'm saying I'm an A tier.
If we put in the time, you and I, we're young chickens, okay, putting in the time that we needed to, we'd be producing. But like the thing is,
no.
Like, bro, you've got 2 kids.
I know. Well, so this is what I'm coming to. This is what I'm coming to. Is that, and I'm going to push back on your thought is like time is the only thing, because, you have this, like I come from a competitive job market, right, with music, right? And so and it's like, well, how does the guy that has his full-time job of playing in an orchestra every day, which is different than an audition, it's not like a one-to-one corollary, so how does the guy that has his full-time job that consumes much of his time compete with the student that has just all the free time in the world to like buckle down and go for an audition? And the difference is just the quality of practice over time. And so that is a big thing that I would love, again, as our group kind of, evolves and shifts, and as we potentially get, geared up for Toronto, that's what I would love for our group to really inhabit, is how are we practicing and how are we using our time? Not just, mindlessly putting in time with like random decks. It's like, no, let's like really come together. Let's find a deck that we love and let's just grind that.
Yes, dude. Well, what you're saying is we have ascended to Unk status. The benefit, the upside of being an Unk is the wisdom gained, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And we are not just starting from ground zero. If like I decide to like go hard for a tournament, right? I'm signed up for Toronto. Like, I'm going.
Let's go.
But if I decide I want to go hard for Toronto, like, I'm not starting from ground zero. A month of like good practice could get me in the mix, right? So like, that's not asking that much. So like, it's just about, it's just about putting in that time though. But still, it is crazy to see players go on these kind of like, these never been done tears. I'm just looking at that top 8 of Las Vegas, a 3,000 player tournament, even though size doesn't matter.
True.
A 2,919 player tournament. To see Tord win it, Liam Halliburton, Henry Chow, Ryuki Aban. That's your, like, bro. All these guys are guys that are like top 8ing, top 4ing, winning, finalists, like all the major tournaments this year. Like on any given weekend. It's crazy. It is crazy to see, how impressive these runs have been from these players that are at the tippy top of the game right now.
And obviously
it is nuts.
Obviously, you hope that there's nothing shady occurring, right? I mean, it just like probability wise, should this happen? No, but that's what makes it really fascinating and captivating, right? As someone who, like us, providing commentary on the results, or as a spectator, right, watching this, right? That's what makes sports teams so great. The elite sports teams so great to watch, is like they have this kind of defying the odds status, right? They're able to overcome what would be, statistically impossible, dare I say, right? To top 8 4 major tournaments of this size in a row, like that's crazy, right? Or like to have Henry Chow's run, or like Tord Reklev's run over the last few years, like statistically shouldn't happen, but
Tord,
yet it does.
I have a lot of respect for Tord, because going into NAIC, he was fed up. Again, from like the kind of like, and he's been like on tear for like a really long time at this point. Like Tord has been in and obsessed with the Pokemon trading card game like way longer than any of his like anybody else in that like S tier status. Like Tord's been competing at world championships since like I think I had a picture of him from what, like 2008 or something, like 2007, like as a senior, but you know, he started back again in like 2012 or so, like at the world championships, right? And he was fed up at NAIC this year because he was sick of all his mid finishes, right? He wasn't like performing elite. He was like doing pretty good, but he expected more out of himself, right? He's like, I haven't won anything lately. I haven't, you know, really had like a crazy finish.
Yep.
And then he said going into NAIC, he had put in more work. He transcended into another level of Pokemon obsession that he had like not really gotten to in a while or like lately, which is crazy as someone who's been in the game for that long to go further than you've already gone. And now it's like he kind of like realized how much time he had to put into doing like grinding poke, and he's been doing it since, and the results show it, right? 3rd at NAIC, 2nd at Frankfurt, top 8 at Milwaukee, regional win. And it's like talking to him at NAIC about his frustrations. Look at his Limitless page, right? Like you look at it, and his 2024-2025 season, he got 2nd at a regional that year. I mean, and then like, you know, the rest of the results look like results that I might have had in my 2023 season. Like, you know, you got some top 22s, you got some top 16s, like, you know, it's pretty good. Yep. But like, it's not Tord good, right? So then he just like transcended, man, and it's like that's crazy. Yeah. But to me, like going through it, watching a player like Tord ebb and flow and kind of like have his ups and downs, like that to me is very meaningful as a competitor because we all go through that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And how you weather that as a competitor really speaks a lot to who you are as a person and how you deal with success and failure as a person. And I can't help but like having watched Tord like over the years now, I can't help but root for him, having met with him, having worked with him on, you know, interviewed him for videos. Like I can't help but root for him now. He's like, he's really doing a great job of embodying that, you know, that pro Pokemon player.
Yeah.
Persona. And he puts in the work, and he puts in really good work with like the classes that he holds and all that. So like I got a lot of respect for Tord, really happy for him getting this regional win. Like that it's crazy. He's taking the game to another level right now. And for him to still be leading the charge of like elite players, you know, all these years later, past his like IC domination.
I mean,
right?
you think of like, I mean, he's not, you know, you look at like parallels to chess, you know, there does come a decline in like cognitive abilities, but he's not close to that. Like, I mean, he's still in a prime.
No,
right?
it's yes, but it's motivation I'm talking about.
Oh, I see. Yeah, to hold it that long. Yeah, I mean,
like, as an adult,
I get it though.
As an adult, like, dude, at a certain point, I was like, yeah, bro, I want to move on. I want to like get married. I want to like start a family.
No,
like,
you can do it all.
You know what I
you
mean?
can
like,
do everything. You can do it all. I'm fired up, bro. You know. This is a big year for me. This is a big year for me. You know, I never know which tournament is like going to be the last one, and so.
Well, dude, I think like that's where you and I differ. Is like, bro, I'm taking my time. I'm like took my foot off the gas here for a couple of years, and then like, you know, when it's time, Pokemon will always be there. There's one thing for certain. So Pokemon will always be there, and we've got the foundation built. So, like, it'll always be there. We can always, you know, who knows when it's going to be time to rev up the engines again. But, like, I'm sure I'll figure it out. But for now, I just know, like mentally.
We got like 2 months, man. We got 2 months for Toronto.
Toronto, my New Year's resolution, I wanted to say, I feel like this year, it's already scuffed, okay? Raging Bolt was my beloved, was my only deck there. I wanted to play. And then it's not Raging Bolt anymore, apparently. Okay. So I picked the wrong To me, it seemed like how does that deck get bad? I don't know. Seems insane, but it seemed like a good bet to me. Okay. So now I'm kicking the can down the road. I'll figure out a new deck to get obsessed with post rotation, and then we're locking in on that deck and that deck only.
No,
that deck and that deck only.
Toronto is not post rotation.
I understand, bro, but like I can't. What? So I'm gonna like find a new deck to become completely obsessed with, then just to have rotation happen?
Yes, dude.
No, bro. I'm talking about getting locked in for like 2 years.
Well, yeah, you do that. You do that after Toronto.
Yes, I'm going to do that after Toronto.
Okay,
yes.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. That's my New Year's resolution.
Yes. Right.
I'm going to lock in on a deck. So Toronto is up in the air. I'm not saying I'm not going to practice, but I'm not going to lock in on a deck that I'm going to play forever at Toronto because, dude, rotation's coming.
That's so true.
I'm going to pick a new deck to become obsessed with.
Okay.
After rotation.
Yep, that sounds good. Yeah, maybe it'll be something cool like Mega Manectric.
No.
Mega Camerupt.
No, bro.
Palafin.
Anyways.
All right. Well, speaking of playing more Pokemon, there was one topic that I did want to bring up. I had it up on the screen earlier in the cast. That was the changes to the LEIC stream. Stephen Kent tagged me in this post. It looks like we are going to be getting more featured matches, potentially, without commentary from the official stream. But they had been testing this. You had seen this at NAIC, where they had kind of a set of, I think, 4 to 6 tables where they had production cameras doing overhead shots of the matches in progress. And so it seemed like they were doing some testing there at the last IC. And now we're seeing that idea come to fruition. Looks like there will be a whole separate channel featuring, potentially like younger age divisions. That's kind of at least the idea that you get here from this thumbnail, of offstage non-commentary matches. So I think this is really fascinating.
It's great stuff, dude. I saw them previewing this at NAIC.
Yep.
I saw, and I asked about it because obviously just like the production stuff and the production side of thing like really interests me. And they said that it's something that they're like trying out, but for the time being, they were just running the tables and streaming them to televisions. So like parents of the younger age divisions could watch like the top tables of the younger age divisions. So like that's kind of like what they were doing. But then also I saw like like Piper was playing at one round. I think like just like tables, like other good matches that weren't going to be on the stage feature match.
Yep.
Just allowing more viewers to be able to spectate more games.
Yeah.
Throughout the event. So like you kind of figure like obviously the stage has like the feature match, but then there are other feature matches you can also go watch. So from like a tournament viewing perspective, even at the event, it like helps to increase the viewing potential of the event. But then obviously as a viewer at home, if you are invested in the seniors or juniors results or anybody playing on like the tables further down in the Masters division, you can get to watch some of those without commentary, which is also just very exciting. A huge feat from a production standpoint.
Yeah.
The amount of, and my goodness, I continue to be blown away by the effort, and honestly,
quality
and the quality, of these productions from the Pokemon Company International. They're doing a great job. There's like as many cameras at these things as like starting to feel like a Super Bowl, bro. Like all these different stream matches, all these different stream feeds. That's a huge props to Paperlight as well, which I believe is the company that produces all of the Pokemon Company International's events. They've been producing them since 2015 and or maybe earlier, like maybe 2014 maybe. They were hired pretty like mid 2010s there, like 2014, 2015. And they've been, over the last 10 years have grown these events into just absolute behemoths. I mean, incredible productions now. So I think it's cool.
Yeah, really, really fun stuff. So I know I'll be watching. LAIC is coming up this weekend. Obviously none of us are going.
You know what else is coming up this weekend? The Full Grip Games Phantasmal Flames.
Of course. I was just about to say that.
6K doubleheader, dude.
I was just about to say that. Thank you.
If you're not planning on going to LAIC, but you want an opportunity to play with the newest cards from Phantasmal Flames before you can anywhere else. LAIC is not even going to have Phantasmal Flames legal yet, but we will have it legal at Full Grip Games on November 22nd and 23rd. We've got a standard $3,000 cash tournament on Saturday, November 22nd, and a Gym Leader Challenge cash event on Sunday, November 23rd. And, of course, we'll be streaming the entire thing on Tricky Gym. Going to be joined by Jesse on Saturday for the standard commentary. And then my buddy Craig on Sunday for the Gym Leader Challenge commentary. So if you're watching LAIC, pop up the Tricky Gym stream too. More Pokemon, more fun.
That's right. Should be a good weekend for you Pokemon lovers up there. That's going to do it for us today. If you want to get more plugged into Tag Team, you can find us on X. That's at EnjoyFriend for Andrew, at RealJohnWalter for myself, and at Tag Team Pokemon for the podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, please make sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. If you're watching this on your favorite podcasting platform, go ahead and leave a comment there as well. Thank you all so much for listening, and we will catch you not next week. We're going to take the week off for Thanksgiving, but we'll catch you in 2 weeks. See ya.
December.
Yeah, see you in December.